It is your boy Easy Work Boxing. I'm about to hit you everywhere, huh? But up under your feet with this one, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Just my opinion, no bias talk, no racism on this channel. I just, give it to you about the sport that I love. Andre Ward, Mr. Commentator. Once, I don't know how many times he was a champion. But Andre Ward, great commentator for ESPN. He will be coming out with a documentary soon. I don't know if somebody doing it for him or it will be his documentary that he's, paying for on his own. But, I have a little bit to say about Andre Ward. Take nothing away from you, Andre Ward. You're a hell of a fighter. You went in there and you risked your life and gave us entertainment for years. No one could ever take away your accomplishments or what you have earned inside that ring, my brother. So I'm not bashing you. I just keep it real in my opinion about the sport that I love. First of all, for some reason, people always, put Andre Ward up on a pedestal. But I'm not one of those people who forgot about Andre Ward and what Andre Ward has done in the sport of boxing, okay? Now, got to give him credit. Super 6 series, my brother. You went and did that. Came out on top. You beat all the best fighters in that Super 6 series. I can never deny your talent, my brother. You are a special fighter. Whatever you had to do to win, you win. But let's not forget that Andre Ward was a headbutter. All right? You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Because I got to criticize Andre Ward because Andre Ward did something that I didn't like. Okay? You were a headbutter. You headbutted a lot of your opponents. That was your strategy. Hey, it's not a gentleman's sport. You go in there, you win the way you win. But let's not forget that Andre Ward was a headbutter. Second of all, you did not beat Kovalev the first time. Floyd Mayweather himself, the GOAT, in my opinion, the GOAT, came out and said that himself that you did not beat, Kovalev that first fight. There's no way impossible. They try to give you the same thing with Canelo versus Lara. Body punches win fights now. Like Gary Russell Jr. said, nobody really talks about a body punch unless you take somebody down from it or it's a body shot that hurts an opponent. When you hear a commentator talk about a body shot, it's because they have nothing else to say. Okay, so you beat Kovalev from body shots even though you was knocked down and you was running around the ring looking strange after the fight. Okay, you lost that. Why do they forget that you ran from Adonis Stevenson? Yeah, from 160 to 168. The reason... Let's not forget Andre Ward was a unified champion. Andre Ward was a unified champion after he beat Kovalev. He had all three belts. One belt was left, the WBC. And who had that? Adonis Stevenson had that title. And guess what Andre Ward did? Guess what he did? The supreme A1 level fighter who couldn't sell tickets. I almost forgot about that. That's why you never hear Andre Ward mention about ticket selling. You notice when they talk about pay-per-view numbers and ticket selling, he don't have nothing negative to say about nobody. You want to know why? Because he couldn't sell none himself. Andre Ward was a straight California-based fighter his entire career almost, okay? Probably until the Kovalev fight. I think that was probably in the MGM Grand probably. Other than that, or the Super Series or whatever, half of it was in wherever Andre Ward can sell tickets to save his life. All right? Save his life. So that's why you don't never hear him mention about pay-per-view numbers or tickets that they talk about today, okay? I take none away from Andre Ward, but you did something I don't like, so I got to talk about you. But take none away from you. You're a hell of a fighter. You're a rich man. You living great. Them children, they beautiful. Everybody happy. Wife happy. I'm happy for your success, my brother, but I'm going to keep it real on you. I don't like the fact that when you became a commentator, when you got hired by ESPN, the first thing come out your mouth is, I don't want to be considered a black fighter. Which you weren't black from jump. I always told people that your father is white, you are your father's seed, you're white. But you look black. But it was okay to look black as long as black people thought you were black and black people were buying those tickets that you weren't selling. When black people was buying them tickets, it was all good. But when you go sign with ESPN and you getting $1 million, $5 million contracts to commentate, I don't want to be considered or remembered as a black fighter. I lost all due respect for Andre Ward. I never take away your talent, though. I never take away your talent, but for what y'all gonna do a documentary on him? Are y'all gonna mention the fact that he lost to Kovalev? Are y'all gonna mention the fact that he was a headbutter? Are y'all gonna mention the fact that he ran from Adonis Stevenson from 160 to 168 and he was a unified champion that needed one more belt to be undisputed and he retired? Are they gonna talk about that? I take nothing away from you, Andre Ward. Special fighter, you did a lot in the sport. You deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, whether you was headbutting or not. You won your fights. But at the end of the day, I don't forget nothing. I don't want to see a documentary of Andre Ward because there's no reason. He disrespected everybody who was a fan of his by coming out and saying that, especially if they were black. So you can keep Andre Ward's documentary unless you're going to keep it truthful about everything he's done and how he disrespected his fans that were black people about saying that I'm not black, don't put me in the category of a black fighter. But you was okay being a black fighter when them black people from California was coming out there buying your tickets. This Easy Work Boxing. Thank y'all for y'all time, y'all love, and y'all support. If y'all want to donate, go to the description. It's all in there, baby. It's Easy Work Boxing. I'm out. No bias talk, no racism.